Hello, 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 everybody. It is Monday night, and I am here with you for another SideKick Power Hour. I am your host, Joshua R. Pangborn, and today is a bittersweet SideKick Power Hour because it is the final SideKick Power Hour for Season 5. We come to you. I was just doing the math in my head. This is our 24th episode for Season 5. That means I've been coming to you for almost half a year, and you've been tuning in. So thank you so much for being here with me. If you are not aware of what Sidekick Power Hour is, and this is your first time stumbling upon us, welcome. We are the live streaming component of the Sidekick Productions Crewniverse, as we call ourselves. We are here to celebrate all things queer, fat positive, sex positive, and allies who do things in these worlds, horror, and a little bit of everything else as well. We come to you every week with a special guest to talk about work that they're doing in the world, usually in the world of queer, fat positive, sex positive, or horror, but not always. And tonight's special guest is doing something that's very, very special, I think, in which is why he's a special guest. And you'll be hearing from him very shortly. But also, before we get too far away, we always do catch up about what's going on in the Sidekick Productions universe as well. Well, if you've been following me on social media, you know that I literally just got back a few hours ago from Baltimore today because I've been in Baltimore since Thursday for the Baltimore Next Media Web Fest. And we were able to screen a few of our projects. The short film Burned screened, the trailer for The Contract, which I'm very excited about. That screened as well. We also screened an episode of Demon Doctor, which I know many of you love, and I know I love, and I hope that more of you will discover it. And also, we screened the podcast that I helped co-produce with a few other production companies called Moose on a Highway. Well, it was a very wonderful weekend. We don't know all of the award winners yet, but the ones that we do know, um, I'm happy to say that Moose on a Highway, our podcast, was named Best Comedy Audio Fiction Podcast at the festival. And our cast was named Best Comedy Ensemble for a podcast at the festival. So, congratulations to all the Moose on the Highway team members who made this happen because you are amazing. And I am so excited that I was able to be part of this. This was all of us who made this, was our, all of us who produced this and wrote it and directed it. This was our first audio fiction podcast, and it was pretty darn cool to make that with everybody. And I can also say that at least one award was given to me personally because I am the recipient of the best horror writer for a series for Demon Doctor. This is Glowy. The festival has exciting trophies which glow, which I honestly love this. I mean, this is extremely fun. But hey, Demon Doctor is now once again an award-winning series. It's messing up. I have to move it, but I wanted to show you all. There we go. But Demon Doctor is once again an award-winning series for from the Baltimore Web Fest. They tend to give us a lot of love because they love our show, and I'm really really excited to win for writing because, as you know, I've started out primarily as a writer, and that's how I got my start. And if you didn't know that, well, now you do. So surprise. In addition to that, we're hard at post production work on the contract. I can tell you that our wonderful composer is plugging away at music to make the score sound as incredible as the movie looks. And I will be doing another meeting tomorrow to probably tweak a few VFX shots before we finalize those as well. So that's exciting. And then there's going to be a bunch of Skeleton Crew. I was just doing a bunch of emails actually on scheduling for Skeleton Crew because we have a bunch of dates coming up in May. But other than that, that's pretty much it right now. Don't forget, if you want to, you can always get a copy of the book that we make at Psychic Productions called Homophobias, and that's available on Amazon in hardcover, soft cover, or paperback. Soft cover, paperback. Josh, paperback. What is soft cover? Hardcover, paperback, or ebook. And you can also watch and stream on Amazon The Brooklyn Butcher, which is our feature film, the horror anthology, The Brooklyn Butcher. Or if you really want a physical media, you can get a Blu-ray by going to the Psychic Productions website and getting that there. Um, it's been a wonderful 24 weeks talking to all of you and meeting so many amazing friends and faces that I'm familiar with and bringing them to share them with you and getting to increase the representation among all of the people who attend us in the Critterverse, to new faces and old favorites as well. So it's always hard when it's the last day, but I saved, I think, one of the most exciting people for last because we are about to enter a very exciting new venture together. It's a first for both of us, technically, in a lot of ways. But before we even get to that, I want to bring in our special guest so he can talk about who he is before we even talk about what he's doing here. So let's find out and let's bring in Ryan.
Hi.
Hi, Ryan. How are
Hi,
you?
how are you? I'm taking soft cover. All summer book reads should be called soft cover reads now.
We're going with it.
Absolutely.
I've coined the phrase, and voila, it is
Yes.
happening.
I mean, because hardcover books are technically like paperback as well.
They really
So,
are. I mean, it's all
right?
made of paper in the end. So,
Exactly. Exactly.
so we're going with soft cover. I
We're
like
going with
this.
soft cover. All of the bags in my all of the books in my tote bag for the summer are soft cover books. Yes.
I expect to see lots of posts on the beach with you and tagging it hashtag soft cover, hashtag life.
Once we get through the show, there'll be plenty of beach time. Yeah. Oh my
Well, before
gosh.
we even get there, can you introduce yourself, Ryan? Tell us who you
Hi.
are.
Yes. Hi, everyone. I'm Ryan McWilliams. I'm an actor and a comedian and a writer. I guess probably in the order of comedian, writer, actor, or writer, comedian, actor. I don't know. Yeah. My original, first degree in life, my first love of theater was in acting. And I kind of quickly realized at the time I was not going to get any parts because I was such a big faggot, am still such a big faggot. And I knew, like, kind of, my career and that would be like later in life. And I really quickly pivoted to directing. I was also very, so love to be in charge, and also, I'm very into set design, costume design, creating a whole world and a whole look for things. So in college, a lot of the shows I did were these like kind of whole visual experiences where I could, kind of tell the whole story as much as possible. I'm a control freak, so it, helped out better that I was like being a director. But yeah, now in my, I guess, midlife, I've pivoted back to performing and being more kind of, in front of the audience and the stage, which I didn't really think was going to happen. But I started writing again, and it kind of came out as stand up. And that's sort of where I've been working on and focusing my time in writing on the past couple of years. And yeah, I'm debuting new work this Sunday, which is going to be really fun. I've gone through a whole bunch of depressing work, and so I'm switching topics to something that is still aggravating, but maybe more fun. And yeah, it's exciting, and our show kind of works into that. It's taking the stand up writing that I've done to another level, and I think kind of helps culminate and help create the world this story. It explains the stand up. The stand up explains the sort of the scenes. I think it all kind of plays off each other, and I'm excited to work with you on it. It's going to be really fun.
I'm really looking forward to it as well. So you, when did you start doing stand up? Like, it sounds like that's what was like what brought you back into the world of performing. So when did you start that?
Right. I started about 2018, 19, kind of putting myself up there and feeling it out, and really just trying to like, I came more from, I guess, like a storytelling perspective, and was trying to see how I fit in with these people who were doing very like standard, set up punchline
Mhm.
jokes. And my material is much more wordy and lengthy, and kind of story based. And so I was really getting into that and figuring it out. And then COVID happened. And right, there was no in person anything. And, when we did, um, I did one online stand up Zoom show, and just quickly knew that this was not it. Yeah, live feedback from people in the chat to your stand up is like nobody needs that. It's so
Ha ha
weird.
ha ha ha.
Yeah, or no, like critiques.
Ooh.
People I don't know. It was strange comments. It's too personal. You know, you can heckle me in person, and that's fine. I can respond
Mm.
to you there. You put it in the chat, I can't really say anything. It was also just like not fun. The whole point of it's in person interaction. Being
Yeah.
with people and the energy off the audience. And so I, pivoted from that to I basically went back to school and got a master's for like web and communications and graphics and all this stuff for personal, professional, fun, work, career stuff. And then as COVID ended and people could go back into experiencing theater and performing arts and stuff, I started dipping my toe back into it. And yeah, I don't know. I'm just have gotten, enough. I've done a couple shows where, 15, 20, 30 minutes and just trying to get this show going. But I thought, instead of just sort of came about where instead of focusing on writing a 1 hour or a show in that aspect, because of the material that I've been working on is a lot more depressing and dark, I thought it would work out better to kind of dovetail it into some sort of episodic series. And the idea and everything just kind of came together all at the right time. And just made sense for it to sort of work together.
So let's talk about that a little bit. That
Yeah.
you are talking about something called Meditation Club, which
Mhm.
what is Meditation Club? I guess let's start with that. What is it? It is a series. I know that much from what you've told
Yes.
me. So
Right. Yeah. It's so I had this sort of insane weekend. Um and I kind of was walking home from a sound bath experience, and it was the first
can you stop
sound
right there?
bath.
Can you tell us what a sound bath is? Because
Right.
people might not
So
know what that is.
there are professional, I would call them musicians. I think they're sound healers, sound practitioners, people that are attuned to both like the scientific part of it and the sound part of it, so that there are specific sound waves and frequencies that affect your body. Sound permeates your skin, your bones go straight through you, right? And it physically affects you, which is why everyone loves music so much,
Mm.
because it can affect your mood. It affects your, if you're in a room feeling the music, like just your vibe shifts. And so these are people that play instruments that have been around for ages, and practice that has been around for like centuries. That are people playing either like woodwind instruments, chimes, sound bowls. There are You can get into even going into sort of like native experiences and really bring in like feathers and kind of woodwinds and things that the shells are a lot of it too. So they play these sounds to get you to kind of in a meditative state, to clear your mind, and sort of just like realign your chakras, and just clear your head so you're in a better space mentally. And I've had a really kind of fucked up few years, which I've been talking about in my stand up. I had my mother in law, unfortunately, was diagnosed with cancer and had a sort of quick battle with that and passed in 2023 from a lung cancer. And she had never smoked or had anything. It was just sort of like out of nowhere. And then 3 months later, my mom had a health scare and had surgery, and then a week later she passed due to complications from the surgery. So it was just like this really rough time with my husband and I dealing with both of our moms passing. And, we just kind of kept joking, our dog has to hold on. We had a senior dog. We were like, Teddy's just got to make it through the year. Like, we can't have the third thing be Teddy passing as well. And thankfully, he held on for a couple of years longer,
Oh, good.
and then also did pass as well last summer. But so anyway, so I've been dealing with all this depressing stuff and trying to get out of this hole, and meditating and listening to the Calm app has been very helpful. There are different people on there. It's kind of different, but the sound bath, you go to this place and for an hour they play these instruments. There's gongs involved too, where it just sort of takes you through a whole journey. And by the end of it, you are both physically feeling and like mentally feeling totally different, and it's impossible to describe. You walk out of it and you just are in this sort of, it's like a state of shock, but not, because it's the opposite of that. You're so it's calmed and zened out, and chill, that you are just like still just like whoa, like you feel like you got off a roller coaster. And I was walking back from this experience and just sort of had this idea, how am I going to explain this to other people? And I had been tossing around in my mind sort of like a buddy comedy with my friend Arian, who I went to high school and college with. She and I have acted together for a long time, and I was trying to figure out what was something that I could write for the two of us. And this just sort of all came together, like this experience. How do I explain this experience to other people? And so I just sort of pictured, my friend group from college, if they were here in New York with me now, how would we be talking about this, and how would we be processing sort of all of these larger questions I've had about life and death and what happens after life, like where do we go? I don't believe that we're just like, go to heaven. That doesn't really make much sense. I don't believe that we just die and that's it. Like that seems very bleak to me. So I've been dealing with this question and searching and trying to figure out, um, I don't know, like what is the meaning of life? Like why do we get up every day to do anything? Um, like why do people get out of bed? It was just bleak, but true. Like I've been trying to find like my joy and my light again, and thinking about this experience literally just made me laugh so hard. I was like, how the hell do I talk about this to people? And so I was just like, you know what? I just started writing, and it came out of me very quickly. The first sort of 3 or 4 scenes, the first episodes. And of course, I've worked on it, we've worked on it so much since then. Um, and it's evolved over time, I think, so well. I'm so happy with like, where it's turned out. Um, I can't believe what I sent you, from where it is now. It's crazy. But like, I guess at some point you have to like give it up to people. And that's something I'm trying to work more on. That's what I've been working on more with my stand up, is like let's not overthink things. Let's just like put it out there and do it. I'm trying to be less self-conscious, and um it's hard, it's weird, but I'm getting over it. And I don't know. So I wrote this series about kind of this experience I've had with getting deeper into meditation and sound baths. And, I went from, there's so many different ways to learn how to meditate. And I think like the Calm app I mentioned before is one. They will go through sort of like guided meditations every day. And there's different people and there's different styles of how they walk through it, but I also think that that's kind of more like maybe motivational speaking or pep talks, kind of a little bit. It doesn't necessarily get you into like a full meditative state.
Mhm.
So I was doing a lot of research on YouTube about longer spoken guided meditations, and there's ones that are like 30-minute chakra cleansings that I think are really great. That where the person is speaking to you and will talk you through a little bit, but you are left to kind of find a moment of calm. And I think in a lot of this, what I'm trying to, I guess, like the story or like the moral of it, because in all of the work that I've done, and I know I'm ranting right now and rambling, I always like to have there be some sort of message. I don't, entertainment, I think, is, we're trying to talk about hard things and communicate stuff. And I really want my pieces to like work on those things, and like, how do we work through these really hard ideas and really talk about them. Um, and I think this is part of that. Some of like the aha moment I had in this process was, I think in meditation, we're kind of told to like clear your mind and not think, which I don't think is, that's not really possible. I think the goal, more so from what I've been finding out through going to more of like a Buddhist meditation center and studying other ways of meditation, is that you're really supposed to be focusing on a positive idea or like a virtuous mindset, and focusing on that, and like giving yourself good energy and vibes, and like having it being this self-generating thing, So I think in that, we're just going through this process of these characters learning about meditation, sound baths, and this world, this kind of very I think it's very funny, comical, woo woo, like high end yoga pant kind of world that we're living in. I think it's very taken this turn. It's very popular and and become very mainstream, right? It's not this niche thing. I think maybe this is getting a little niche and some of this avenues, but it's not like I'm a novice to this and learning about all of these things. But the more that I'm learning about it, the more widespread it is. I see that um, it's all over. There's so much just to learn and research about it. So anyway, so we're just like bringing the comedy out of this. It was just really trying to find the humor in this and how these different characters would react to it and how they would talk about it. How these people who are kind of like middle newish adults, that are trying to figure out their life and work and what the point of their life is. It's more than just going to work, right? Um, yeah, and just I don't know, there was just like so many funny things about it. I was like, we have to figure out how to capture this and yeah, I'm just excited for everyone to kind of make it their own and bring it to life. We've got such a great group of people that are working on this now. I'm so excited to see what happens and where it goes.
Absolutely. I think that that was a very detailed response about people what people can expect from Meditation Club, I think. And I'm
I'm
excited
a, I'm
about
a
that.
ranter. I'm a ranter, so yeah.
I couldn't tell
Sorry.
from your writing at all. No.
I know. Anybody who's seen me on stage knows it's like you're in for like a long rambling treat. But it's like, I don't
But
know.
that's great. I think
I have
it's
the
really
energy.
you have a lot to say, and I think as an artist, it's important to have a lot to say. And you some artists say it visually, some artists say it musically, some artists say it with words, and you are somebody who says it with words, and I think that's really great. Um, David, I think David Addison Small is a wonderful artist from Boston area. David, I think you would absolutely adore a sound bath from everything I know about one. This is very much something that I think that you would reach out to. David is a musician. He's a painter. He's a
Yeah.
sculptor. He does it all. I think.
You would
Yeah,
love it. It's they're so interesting. I so many times just want to keep my eyes open to see what they're doing, because it's just so neat.
mhm.
And these people are so smart because it is so scientific and what they're playing to get you to respond and the order that they're doing it in. There's so much thought put into all of it. Yeah.
I'm super excited to film a sequence of even if it's not an official sound bath. I'm super excited to film it because I think it'll be a really great chance for me to figure it out before I invest in it explicitly and try
Right,
to.
definitely. I'm gonna have Ira, who's gonna run the sound bath for us in the scene. I definitely want them to have the moment to run it through on everybody first and get a taste of it, and we'll have yeah, a little bit of participatory chill time beforehand for to get a flavor of it. But yeah, I'm
Oh, we've
excited for
already
them
done some
to.
collaboration, Ryan, right here, because David's
Yeah.
painting right now, and he wrote the word sound bath on a big piece of paper.
Yes.
So
Love
you've
it.
already started collaborating with other artists on this, and that's amazing.
Oh, it's happening. We are in the network. I love it.
So just so everyone knows how I'm involved with this,
Yes. So
Ryan,
we're doing all that.
effectively Ryan came to me with this idea. He found me online and came to me and said, "Hey, can you help me bring it to life?" And that's what's going on. So I'm going to be doing a lot of the production work on this project, which I am really excited about because it'll be my very first time uh working almost exclusively on the production side of things for a project that we've made. So I'm it's a new experience for me. This is what I was saying when it's a new experience for me as well. I did not write this project, which is a very unusual for me when it comes to something I'm making. And I'm looking forward to this experience. It's really fun. Plus
Yes.
it's a topic I think that is very useful. I mean, the festival I was at this weekend, so many projects were about mental health. So many of them, and I think I mean not to go in these paths and everything, but the world we're living in right now, there's a lot of mental health stuff we need to help us with, because the world itself is very hard to live in, mentally,
Right.
as well
Yeah.
as physically, but mentally.
Yeah, I
So
all around. Yeah, I don't want to skip over that because I think that's a huge part of what this show is about. And part of why I wanted to do this is because I also think back to sort of COVID, and looking at entertainment in that time period. I don't necessarily know if we have really addressed that time period, and I was shocked a little bit at the time that there were so many shows that were not involving that in their storyline, and I'm a little taken aback now how there's not more conversation about the total shit show that is happening in our country, and that there's not this conversation in art about it. And it is part of my daily life, this frustration, um, with the world we're living in, just as a person experiencing it, but then also having family members that unfortunately voted for this mess, and
mhm.
trying to reconcile that. And I think that's part of what we're talking about in this. And right, mental health overall, like I've had a real hard time, and like I'm trying to have been, this project has been a great help of like getting me to laugh again and getting me out and like finding the humor
Well,
in
that's
things.
amazing, that's wonderful.
um and like, yeah, just like helping me process it as well. But right, I think that's a huge part of what this is about. Like, how do we talk about what the hell is happening? It's it's so, there's so much going on. It's hard to talk about, and I don't talk about things individually, but I think overall, like, how do we move on from this? Like, how do we
How do we
move
take
past
care
some
of
of this?
ourselves, and
Yeah.
how do we support one another, and create a community in a world that is always trying to fracture us right now?
Right. Yes. I was talking to one of my friends, kind of in this just like really flabbergasted, shocked state. And I was just sort of like, how do I, talk to the other side and convince them that like what's happening is wrong and that like it was the wrong choice. And she was like, you need to stop focusing on convincing the other side that maybe they were wrong, or like, I don't know, I want an apology, but like that'll probably never happen. But just to like, see that like maybe they didn't make the right choice and can do something better. But she was like, you need to turn your focus on like our community and on yourself and us,
Mhm.
and like how do we protect ourselves, how do we like just get through this time. And that was a really kind of like a really, like clarion call to me to be like, duh, like work on your art. Like, what are you doing? Like, start focusing on your art again. And then this kind of happened. I don't know
Art
how we
is
got in this rant. Sorry.
art is incredibly cathartic, I think, for an audience. But I've told this to many people, and I had this conversation with another person this weekend. Art is incredibly cathartic for the creator as well, and
For sure.
it's important to be able to work through things. And I think some of the best ways to do that are to put it into the pieces of art that you're making. If you have a lot of rage at something, um, create a world that you need to rage in, and or go to a rage cage. But no,
Right.
no,
Yeah. Go to the rage cage. No, I
but
mean,
but
I'd
but like,
be, yeah,
how
for
talk
sure.
talk about like someone was talking to me about female rage this weekend, because she has a lot of anger and she wants to find a way to get it out because she's angry. There was this thing that came out on CNN about 64 million men belong to a website that teaches them how to assault their wives, and she just reading that just made her very, very angry. And
Terrible.
I understand why it made her angry. It's terrible. It's horrible. And she was trying to think about what she could do with that rage, and she started coming up with an idea for a TV series.
There you
And
go.
will she make it? Who knows? But oh, did you disappear on me, Ryan? I think I may have lost you. I'm pretty sure in the span of all of Psychic Power Hour, I have probably never lost somebody in the middle of a stream before. So this is a first for me. If you can remember somebody in the comments that I might have lost in the middle of the stream, pop it into the comments, and then we'll go from there. I think he is maybe coming back. Let's see here. But in the meantime, I will pop him out for a few seconds and see if he's able to bring himself back. But I had just talking a little bit more about this the web I was with a lot of filmmakers and a lot of artists and a lot of actors and creators and whatnot, and it was a really interesting weekend to just sort of share our inspirations, share the things we want to make, share why we're making them. And for so many people, it really was mental health driven. There was a desire for and community. There was a lot of desire to build community and a lot of desire to build something with mental health. And I think that for both of those reasons, um, that's really big right now in the world in terms of independent artists and what they're making. So what Ryan is doing with Meditation Club, and I see he's back, so I'm going to bring him in a second. What Ryan's doing with Meditation Club is extremely uh, current in the world of independent web series and things, some along those lines. And hello again,
Sorry,
Ryan.
technical difficulties.
That's okay. I was just talking about how I think in all 5 seasons of SideKick Power Hour, which I've been doing since 2020, you might be the first person I've lost in the middle of a stream. So this is
Oh
exciting.
no, of course it's
You and I are
me.
doing so many firsts together, Ryan. It's
I'm having to
wonderful.
do it on my phone because my computer was giving me issues.
That's okay. We're excited to have you back. I'm really happy. And hello, hello. I'm glad to see that you are here as well, Blotchy Bear. We're happy to have you for our final episode of Psychic Power Hour Season 5. I was just catching people up about over the weekend. I was talking about more specifically how a lot of the people were inspired and were creating shows around community and around mental health, and those seem to be two of the biggest topics that were brought up over the course of the weekend in terms of all the different artists I met and why they made the shows they were making and why they were
Yeah.
were focused on them and why they or the shows they were trying to make. And it was all just about community and mental health. A lot of what I do is around community, even if it's horror based. It's around the community is at the background of why I'm making what I do. Sidekick Productions exists because I felt there was a need for the community of queer and fat voices to have opportunities to be
Yeah.
heard and seen. And that's so at the core of what we always do at Sidekick Productions is community based and about building community and giving representation to people who need it and want to have it and don't have it. So I think it's great that I was really excited when I was reading Meditation Club, and I've really enjoyed working with you so far on it because we've had such a great opportunity to collaborate, and you've been so receptive to uh, uh, ideas outside of your own, which is not always something that you encounter with other creators when you're trying to collaborate on something. And it was again, like I said, it was a learning experience for me because I wasn't sure how much can I give suggestions to this person.
Yeah,
Will
yeah.
he be like, no, you must not tell me any notes.
No,
I
I
am the
mean,
only
when
one.
I messaged you and we started chatting, and I'm coming at this from a theater perspective. I have never worked in like writing something for film or filming it before, so this is a new experience for me. And I think I've always worked in a collaborative state. I think theater is such a collaborative medium.
Mhm.
And I just value other people's opinions. I think it's great to have everybody get their word in. We take what works best, and that gives you this like beautiful tapestry of art. And you've given such great notes. I mean, the notes that you've had have like definitely helped round out what was there and like fill things in. And I'm all for like people. Sometimes people tell you things and it doesn't work. You can say, okay,
Mhm.
that's not what it is. Like my opinion is it's here, and it's art. I think it's really interesting that you were saying all the work that you were going back to, and the people that we're working on is this community base. I really feel like I'm hoping, I keep saying this, I'm hoping we're turning this corner of people being so isolated on their phones.
Mhm.
And I know we're doing this on the internet and on phones, but like there are other people in the end. Like we're hi everybody, like right, this is real, we're a community. But
People are
like
watching us, so
yeah, yeah, and I think people are really starving for real live entertainment, live community, live interaction things to do. Just scrolling on your phone and like watching things that are fake. Like right now, we don't even know what's what's real and what's not. So what's the point? And I think you know, encourage people to like get up and go to a show, go see some stand up, go see a play. Maybe there's a talk back afterwards. You can mingle with people
Mhm.
in the audience. I don't know, put yourself out there. Take a beta blocker beforehand and then go talk to some people, you know. But yeah, I think that's part of what this is too. It's like, you know, we're creating a community of like 40 plus people working on this show, these 8 episodes that we're about to film. And I'm excited to spend, you know, the 8 9 days that we're doing this with everybody and just like having a great time and shutting everything else out to focus on this
Mhm.
and like really take care of each other in that time and like create something fun. So I think it's going to be really great. And, you know, once again, like it's this big collaborative experience because it's about community. It's about doing and interacting with other people and being offline. You know, it's not all, not everything's the internet.
No, for sure. Although, we are here right now on the internet, so
Yes,
hello,
of course
everybody.
we are, which I'm not saying it's terrible. Obviously, it's great. This is how we've, you know, how I met people online when I was 14, how we're meeting people right now. It's, you know, how we find our community.
And so, so at the stage we're at with the show right now, everyone, we, Ryan and Ari and I spent, last week, over, actually a week ago yesterday, we, cast the rest of the characters in the show, and, Ryan reached out, and I haven't had a chance to talk to you because I've been away to Baltimore. I'm
Yes,
assuming
you've been
everyone
so
said yes,
busy.
right?
Congratulations winning all your awards.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you, thank you. But I guess I'll ask you
It
right now,
does
did
glow. I saw those
everyone
pictures. Yeah.
they're very glowy, so I like them a lot.
Love it.
But I'm just gonna ask you since we're here, did everyone say yes? Because I never confirmed if everyone said yes when you
Yes,
sent me the
yes.
email.
How awkward if someone said no.
I mean,
Yes.
it is possible that somebody could say no.
No, everybody definitely said yes. Yeah, it was great. That all worked out. We're gonna have to do background stuff next week or end of this week, hopefully, and then we'll have that all set. And you and I just conferred on shifting that last shooting date, so the
Yep.
schedule is all set. We just have to get David on board, which I think he said he would be fine with. Yeah, we're all ready to go. I just
So
gotta
pretty much
find some.
we're at where we need to be, everybody, and we're going to start filming on May 18th, which
Yes.
is a little under a month away. So I'm very excited.
Oh.
I'm very, very excited. This
Oh.
will be a lot of fun. So it also means yes, I'm a little insane because I'll be filming both Skeleton Crew and Meditation Club in the same month. Often sometimes the same week, and often sometimes the next day. Never the same day. I was very smart and did not schedule anything on the same day
That's
yet.
good.
Yet is the
We
key.
can't overwhelm you. Yeah.
I'm an overwhelming person, so but I'm so excited. This will be great. So so we'll have a new team of people to meet and work with. It's gonna be it's always great to just build a community like this and expand and these are people I've only worked with. I've worked with one person from the cast before. Other than that, everyone else is brand new, and I can't wait to work with new people. Because it's always fun to meet new actors and see what they do with the stuff that you give them and I have a pretty good sense of what Ryan's looking for based on talking to him a lot about the scripts. But this is where it gets fun because Ryan and I will get to see what the actors do without us having a chance to control them 100%. Because they are no longer voices in our head; they are now people
Yeah,
living in front
yeah.
of us. So
I'm in the process of giving it up. Like I did, you know, I was like, okay, pencils down. Can't do any more major edits. We've let it go for people to memorize because I also have to start to memorize.
well, the good news is
I
I think once you are focused on you'll have to focus on acting yourself. So
Mhm.
that'll help you let go a little bit because you will no longer be able to be 100% focused on what other people are doing because you have to focus on yourself. So
For
um
sure. Yeah. No, I think even just in my mind, it's kind of like the switch is like, okay, it's done. I don't need to think about tweaking it anymore. I don't know. Things come in the moment. We get some words that come up or some lines to
yeah,
improvise
of
for
course.
sure. We'll get that. But yeah, at this point, I need to definitely start memorizing pages and pages and pages of words. Yeah.
This is
But
a
yeah,
very
I'm
good
very
point.
excited.
This is a very good point that you made, Bletcher Bear. If Michael J. Fox can do Family Ties and Back to the Future at night, and I guess I could do it too. So you're right.
Wow.
I will start doing. I actually should. I am not Michael J. Fox, so I need to push myself a little further. I think so. Uh, I don't
That
want to
is
be completely Michael
intense.
J. Fox because I don't want to go through what he's going through right now. But I wouldn't mind being in a TV series on television and filming a feature film at night. So that's fun.
Oof,
But
I don't know. I mean, I don't, it would you be like how many days in a row can you do that? How many weeks
that's
can you
it is a
keep
good
that up?
question. I know that Sarah Michelle Gellar, when she was filming Buffy, she was also filming Scream 2 at the same time. Like
Right.
literally, she had to go from one set to the other, and those are like 2 12-hour days basically at the same time. So she
Yeah,
literally didn't
that's a
sleep, I think.
lot.
So
That's a lot. I think even if you're just showing up as an actor to both those things, it's still a lot.
it is. It
You know.
is. Honestly, acting in a 12-hour day, even if you are not, even if there's a lot of times where you're sitting down and stopping because the crew is doing all this work and all, it can be very exhausting to always be on.
Right,
And wearing
exactly.
wearing costumes can actually be exhausting too. There's aspects of that. Luckily, what we're doing for this show is all very natural, but even if sometimes even natural stuff is uncomfortable. Like if you're in a suit for 12 hours, that's
Mhm.
exhausting.
Oh, for
That's really,
sure. If I'm in a suit for more than 5 minutes, I'm uncomfortable. I'm
if I
uncomfortable,
wear a
period, in a
necktie,
suit.
if
Oh,
I
I
even think
hate
about
it.
a necktie, I'm like, no, thank you. I do not like neckties.
Yeah, it's not my luck for sure. Yeah, I'm a little worried about the meditation center scene because we are having people on mats, seated up, and 4 or 5 hours of that can be a little bit on the back. So,
It
um,
can be. That's what I've thought about that as well. So we'll take a lot of pauses and stretches and all that and get people up and moving. And um,
yes, yes, but
I've been thinking about that.
definitely going to be good. Yeah, breaking it up with yeah, a lot of improv and just having people play with it as well. Yeah, definitely, how it is in my mind. I'm trying to open it up to see what comes when we start in a couple weeks. Yeah, it's going to be a totally different world. Yeah.
But it's going to be a fun one, and it's
Oh,
going
for
to.
sure.
So Ryan has created a really, really bizarre little world of meditation and the ways that we try to meditate and calm ourselves, and the people are all just the right kind of eccentric that I like. So I'm really quite excited about this. I think that you will all really enjoy what he's come up with, and what we're going to put together through all the work we're doing together. So.
Yes, it's definitely going to be a little out there for sure. It's going to be fun and weird for sure. It has to be weird. And yeah, I think it's just going to be hopefully a little surreal. I think we've got a little bit of surreal,
It'll
the
be
little tinge
surreal.
of
It'll be very
horror.
surreal.
Yeah, we've got it all. But yeah, hopefully more than anything, it's going to be funny. Yeah.
So, Ryan, what would you say are some inspirations or movies that you turn to as what kind of what would you say is some movies that inspire you either for this project or as an artist in general?
Yeah. I think a lot of my inspiration comes from like watching old Nick at Night shows with my mom.
Um,
Just like I love Lucy, of course. But I think Mork and Mindy, just watching
mm,
Robin Williams' Mork, it kind of blew my mind. And then, seeing that as setting that as your like level of expectation of like humor and weirdness. I don't know if anyone's ever been able to match that as well. Jim Carrey has maybe gotten close. But for me, the humor in that, and just, I'll never forget, just the idea of an alien trapped in a human's body and the concept of like trying to figure out how humans work. I constantly feel like an alien in my body, so I just relate to that so much. In terms of movies, my favorite movie is Shoot Beverly Hills. Can't get better than that. I love campy movies. I love campy funny movies. I'm also very into sci-fi. I think there's such a huge crossover between horror and comedy. There's so much horror that is funny.
I've said that a
And then
million times, so yes.
yeah, I have, an idea for something for us to work on after this, which I think is like right in that lane, which
I'm
I'm really
ready.
excited about. Yeah. It's gonna be, yeah, horror and comedy. And so yeah, I mean, all the Scream movies are just so funny. That it was that was such a thing over so many years for just like every year to have like new it was kind of like the consistency of SNL, where like every year they'd have things to roast, and it would be the social commentary of like what made it into the movie that they would joke about, in
Hmm.
addition to all the horror. So I always thought that those were really great, as well. I mean, like the Joel Schumacher Batman movies, like the X-Men cartoons, like so
Hmm.
gay. Love them so much. The GI Joe
So gay.
cartoons. I love animation. Puppetry is probably like my main love outside of theater. Just the visual art of marionette puppets, I think, is amazing.
I love
Uh,
that. Yeah.
yeah, there's a really amazing theater in New York here in Soho called Here Arts Center that the Halloween parade is kind of run out of. They run the puppets that start the parade. I worked there
Mm.
for a couple years running their box office, and they still consistently have like amazing puppet shows there, that I love to go see, which I think is just so great, and which I love in movies. Like the real practical effects, real practical puppets. All the Star Wars movies, like the original
Hmm.
ones with the Ewoks. I mean, you can't get cuter than
Is
like
it
the real
too?
Ewoks.
Is it too late, Ryan, to put puppets into Meditation Club?
If I can figure out how, we will. Just got to figure out how. Yeah, maybe one of the eye masks comes to life in like the meditation scene or something. Who knows? Yeah,
You never. That could be fun. That could be really fun. So
yeah. Definitely. No, I'll have to exactly think about how we can write in some puppetry and some other things for sure.
I do
Yeah,
love
no.
a good doll is always scary in the right way.
Oh my
So
gosh,
good puppet is always
absolutely. Yes.
terrifying. So
My mom had one of those Shirley Temple dolls in her basement
oh
where the eyes move like
yeah
this.
yeah
And I couldn't go in the room that it was in because I literally thought it was just gonna like come and attack you. It's like she's like go clean out the storage down in the basement. It's like I would never want to do that because you turn around and the doll's just gonna like stab you.
yep. Well, that
Yeah.
doll was particularly terrifying. So
Yes. I don't know who thought of the eyelids moving was that's just like terrifying, satanic almost probably.
but also so cute. So
I don't know. Someone thought it was cute.
someone did.
Yeah.
Not me, but someone did.
Right.
Straight people. I think it's straight people. So
Yeah. Most definitely. Yes. The same people who
um
thought the dolls without faces that lean against the wall. Yeah. Mm.
oh my goodness.
Hmm.
But yes, so those are all great inspirations, and I think I can see some of that in this show as well. I mean, there is an element of sitcomness to this. Um, and I know you even talked about Seinfeld a little bit when it came to this.
Yeah, I think within terms of the stand up, right, this is sort of will be I guess like a modern take on Seinfeld. When I was trying to describe it to people, I was saying it's kind of like Seinfeld meets Girls. I really love, what Lena Dunham did with that show. I think her, just putting her life and herself out there was just such a ballsy thing to do. Maybe not the right word, but we're going with it. And she's just
Bold,
such an
bold.
inspired, bold, yes, bold word. And such an inspiring person. And that show was just so thoughtful and like, talked about all these hard, weird, difficult issues, and ways that we talk about things. I just thought it was very real. Within Seinfeld, he also, I think, in a lot of ways, was talking about things that are just very bland, basic, and just everyday life. And this will have kind of the new material that I'm working on now. That I'm, I guess, premiering next week, this week. And then, right. So I'm doing a show on Sunday at New York Comedy Club if anyone's in town. Doing the matinee show, 4 p.m. You'll be home by 7. It's perfect. And then I'm doing another show at the end of May I'll be doing other new material at the Broadway Comedy Club, and that's going to be kind of both of those pieces. I'm going to have will tag along at the end of these scenes, these episodes. I think it's going to make more sense in terms of context of the scenes. It'll all sort of tie together. So I think, yeah, how Seinfeld was kind of leading into it from the comedy club into the episodes. This is sort of leading with the scenes and then going into comedy afterwards.
Well, you've
I
already
think
got
it's
one
gonna.
viewer in the audience right here, Ryan, who wants to see it.
Yeah.
So, and
Yes.
David, you're very welcome. I'm so glad you could be here to join us for this. And I know that Ryan's going to be excited for everyone to see what we are making together. I had no idea you were a puppet guy, though, David. So I need you to tell me more about that, and I need you to send me some puppet examples that you do, because I am very excited. I love a good
Music.
puppet. So, um,
Yeah.
so you already told us what's coming up for you with shows, and you've already told us you've already know another project you're working on after Meditation Club. We're not even done that yet. So I love how your mind is thinking. You're always looking ahead to grow and create more, which is how I operate 100%. So
Right. Yeah. Well, we're creating this whole world for these characters, and I've thought of how this can continue within.
it's true.
You know,
Ryan has already talked about season 2 of the show.
yeah, I mean, as we've been going through this, yeah, more and more things come up, and it's we can't include this here, but we're gonna some things we've been able to write in, um, and some things we're gonna definitely add in for season two, right? So there's definitely so much more room for this to grow and
Yeah.
see where the characters bring it. It's gonna be a lot of fun, just like completely surprising, yeah.
So we're just about out of time. Where can people find you online if they want to follow you?
Right. You can follow me on Instagram. That's the only thing I really do. At RHMR Panic. And right, I don't really post too much. I don't know. I try to like have a natural balance of having a healthy offline life. Maybe I'm not too good at it, but sometimes I post some funny things. Sometimes it's just pictures of
You'll
nature.
start posting a lot more once the show comes out, though, because I'll
Absolutely.
make you. I'll be like, I'll twist
You
your
can.
arm.
Right now, I'm tracking a goose that builds its nest in a very particular part of Pier 26 on the west side of Manhattan. This happens every year, and I on my lunch break at work, I'll walk up to the pier, check on the goose, see how they're doing. I still haven't figured out how many eggs they have laid at this spot, but we're on day 5 so far. So if you follow, you can see the progression of this goose. In about a month, I think maybe like 5 6 weeks, the eggs will have hatched. I did get to see the eggs hatch last year, which was crazy. And yeah, it's just sort of on this like little point of a pier on the Hudson River for the next 5 weeks. I'll be documenting this geese. I don't know. I've been doing it for years. Apparently, people love it.
That's amazing. And
Yeah.
I am curious. I never asked you. What is your username on Instagram about? What is it? Tell if you can tell us. Sometimes it's very
Yeah,
personal.
no, I mean, when I was in college, I used to have panic attacks all the time,
Okay.
in groups of large people, at the drop of a hat and whatever specific places triggered by whatever. I have lots of social anxiety that I've worked on. I'm still working on, but like, I don't know. When I created my Instagram handle when Instagram was invented, that's what I went with, and I stick with it. I don't know. Might as well.
I love it.
Yeah.
No, so again,
I
this
think
is
it
a great
describes my
show.
vibe.
This is a great show to get your to work through things. So I can see why this is
Absolutely.
such a passionate thing for you and everything. So
Yes, yes, for sure.
well, Ryan and I will be seeing a lot of each other for the next few weeks,
It's going to be
months,
amazing. I can't wait.
years, possibly, because that's how collaborations work. Sometimes you end up working together forever, so you never stop. So Ryan's just preparing for that. So
So excited.
but everyone else here, I won't see you again for a little while. This is the last episode of season 5. If you did not hear that earlier on, Power Hour is wrapping up for the season. I promise we will be back this fall with all new faces, all old faces, my face, which rarely changes, and Also, we may or may not be back in the summer for one or two things here or there, like when a little show starts streaming called The Art of Blowing at season 2, or maybe when other things happen as well. You never know. Just stay tuned. I'll be posting about it, and I will definitely be back. But in the meantime, you've got so many things coming to you this year. You've got The Art of Blowing at season 2. You'll have A Taste of Youth available on Blu-ray by June, and you'll also have Skeleton Crew season 6 later this fall, which I can't wait for you all to see. But I am going to miss you all for a little while, but I promise we'll be back. But May is really, really busy, and I just do not have the time to make sure that I bring you guests every week because I won't be able to connect with people like I do to bring them here. So I have to say goodbye for now. But I know it's very sad, and I am sad too. But I will follow you as well, David, and I look forward to being back very soon. And Ryan, thank you so much for being here tonight.
Oh my gosh, thanks for having me. This is so much fun.
I am so thrilled that you were able to be my guest tonight, and we're about to start a new adventure together. And I thought this was the most appropriate way to end this season of Power Hour was
Yeah.
with my new adventure that I'm about to start. So
It's
I
gonna be
can't
so
wait.
great. Yeah, I honestly can't wait. I'm so excited to collaborate with you.
Everyone, I love you all. Have a wonderful, wonderful few weeks, wonderful few months, and I'll be in touch. But also, don't forget, you can always follow me online, and you'll find me, and we'll go from there. But for now, goodbye.
And that's the tea.